The Constitution is the guide which I will never abandon. Welcome to the first episode of the presidential series, and as you all hopefully know, today's episode is on the man himself, George Washington. My name is Logan, this is Better History, let's get into it. I'm going to take about a minute to talk about his life before presidency, and then we're going to start off talking about his presidency. So, first off, Robert Dinwiddie, the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia, yes, Dinwiddie. Last night I spent 10 minutes laughing about it, but let's not get off topic. This man sent Washington to deliver a message to the French demanding that they leave the Ohio Valley. The easiest way I can explain this is Washington later published his account of the trip, which gave him an international reputation. Everybody knew him because he talked about it. A few months down the road, Washington once again marched out west with about 150 men to enforce Virginia's claim. The mission ended in, dare I say, a humiliating experience. There was a surrender at Fort Necessity. Most of the men that went with Washington died, and Washington himself resigned his commission, which sucks. But I probably should have started off with the fact that he was born on February 22nd, 1732, and that he also served 8 years as a commander-in-chief of the Continental Congress. Now, before we move on to his presidency, I want to let you know that I missed things, and I did that purposely because I'm trying to keep these videos under 6 minutes long, and I don't have the time to talk about all these cool things that he did before and after his presidency. So we're going to talk about 3 good things and 3 bad things during each person's presidency, and let's start off with the 3 good things. Well, good things. I don't know why I went so quiet there. The first good thing, setting precedents. George Washington set many precedents, since he was the first president, setting precedents. The first one was the 2-term limit. Washington voluntarily retired after 2 terms, so he didn't take over power, basically. This precedent was later codified in the 22nd Amendment thanks to FDR, and this limited presidents to 2 terms, legally. The second one is building the executive branch. Washington's first term saw the creation of executive departments such as the State, the Treasury, the War, and the Attorney General, laying the foundation for a functioning federal government. He also set the president for the presidential cabinet, surrounding himself with trusted advisors, which we still have to this day. Jeez. Alright, the last thing is balancing national unity and individual liberties. Washington's presidency was marked by efforts to unify the nation, demonstrated by his handling of the Whiskey Rebellion and his emphasis on the importance of the Constitution. At the same time, he also signed the Bill of Rights, ensuring the protection of individual liberties and further solidifying the foundation of American democracy. Alright, let's get into the not so good things. The first one is the Whiskey Rebellion. Now, a lot of people here don't know what the Whiskey Rebellion is, and it was basically it was a protest against a federal tax on whiskey. And it was a new nation. Everybody was like, "Yay! No more tax on tea, no more tax on sugar, tax on whiskey." Every American loved whiskey. So what Washington did, which made this not good, is he called up state militias to federal service to quell the Whiskey Rebellion. This kind of use of federal force against citizens, even those in the rebellion, highlighted the potential for centralized power to be used against the people. The second thing is slavery. Now, slavery was a discussed and disputed topic all the way up to Abraham Lincoln, well, technically Andrew Johnson's presidency. Despite his role in establishing a nation founded on the ideals of liberty, Washington himself was a slave owner. A lot of you may not know that. This stark contraction between his stated ideals and his actions is a major point of criticism. Some historians also point to the harsh conditions he imposed on enslaved people at Mount Vernon, including flogging. The third thing is aloofness and military tactics. I love that word, aloofness. That's my favorite word. Washington was known for being a distant and reserved person. This could be seen as a negative trait for a leader. Now, today we have Trump. He's doing a press conference every other night. or last president was Biden. Not going against him, just saying he barely did any press conferences, barely was out there on TV. The people like a president that is constantly talking, constantly coming out and saying things and being interactive with the citizens of America. The last thing I have to say is he died on December 14th, 1799. George Washington is the best president of all time. And that is all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, and share to your friends, families, and little baby cousins. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, if you did, you know what to do. Day or night. Have a good one.